Wayne. Hey, I want to dedicate this one to my son, Noah Hassani. Daddy, love you, boy. Yeah. And everybody just working through what they working through, you know what I'm saying? Everybody making the best of what they got. Hey, look, I know some OGs always working, but they never pay. Finding their way, but there gotta be a better way. The older that I get, I'm feeling the resemblance. I look into my son's eyes and still see his innocence. I see my inner child in him and still the remnants. Will he lose it to the world? Is it imminent? Or is it something that me and his mama had instilled in him? And the confidence you lose, you could build again. He only 9 months, barely sitting up. He almost fell over. I called him and told him, I'm only making plays now to pass it on. One day my baby gon' have babies and I'm gon' be gone. The way time moving, it really won't be long. I pray I'm there for every memory you want me on. I gotta teach him that it's more than a rat race, more than a cash chase. And if you chase cash, that just means that it's running away. Instead of turning what you love into a company and watch the money come to me. My, what has the world done to me? Judging people off of how they look, not what they done for me. Don't assume it's number 3 of the 4 agreements. I gotta start applying everything that I've been reading. It seemed like the tragedy of losing kids will never come. I think about Trayvon, Bryant, my neighbor Deshaun. Praying for protection for my family, and that he keep his hands on me to fight through this insanity. I lay down trying to figure out the rest. Close my eyes, picture heaven, and it's where I'm at. Get up, get up.
What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. Look, man, we are back. Another international morning game. It is time to get in here. But look, normally I'm going to give you guys a whole spiel about week 5, give you some promos and some other shit like that before we get into the game or into the stream. Ronnie super chatted before we even started. So, Ronnie, you're skipping the line. You're just jumping first priority here, brother. That is the benefits of having the super chat ability, is you get to skip the line and say, hey, my question is the most important here today. And that's a good thing. So thank you for the super chat, Ronnie. $5 says, good morning, brother. Have a half PPR start to with Monty, Dobbins, and White. PPR your start to Henderson, Harvey, Spears, Mason, Dowdle. So the first question in the half PPR league with the start 2 players, I'm going to go with Montgomery for the first one, and I'm going to go with White for the second one. In the PPR league with 2 players, I'm going with Dowdle and Mason as my 2 players in that league. So those would be the answers there. Now, we can get into the intro just quickly for you folks. But as always, kind of like I said, drop your week 5 start sit questions in the chat. Super chats are like what Ronnie did. You get a way to jump the line, get to the top of the line, get your answer or get your question answered faster. Gentlemen, please bear with me this morning. A very late night last night for me and the wife. We were watching the UFC fight, UFC 320. And if you guys know, East Coast, those fights do not get over till 2 in the morning-ish, maybe 2:30 by the time we were, falling asleep. And then that alarm hit me like a bag of bricks this morning when it was time to get up for the international game. I did not want to do it, but we're doing it anyways. Kevin says week 5 is here already, and it feels like the season is flying by. And then what else did we have here? Ronnie says, I love the song, brother. I hope to be there for my kids and grandkids. God bless you and your family. I love the startup song, brother. God bless you and your family. I appreciate it, man. I say the same thing as well. And Patty says, Shama. Hell yes, brother. All right, but look, we're here for a start sit today. So let's get into these questions. We got a lot to talk about, not a lot of time, probably about 40-ish more minutes that we'll run this stream. We'll do it about 45 before these international games. But let's pop right in. Brandon, full PPR. Juwan Johnson is questionable, and New Orleans other tight ends got activated off of IR. Rank him among the following: Henry, Waller, Kincaid, and Laporta. So for me, in my tight end rankings, Juwan, Henry, Waller, Kincaid, Laporta, I have Laporta at my 4th tight end overall in the week. Then I have Henry at 7. I have Waller at 11. Juwan Johnson at 12. And who's my last one? Who am I missing? Kincaid. Where's Kincaid? Kincaid's at 5. So I apologize. It's Laporta, Kincaid, Henry, Waller, Johnson. Patty says, let's go week 5. Jeremy McNichols or Ty Johnson. Deep league and injuries got me bad. I would probably go with McNichols. He would probably be the play. Some PPR work there and see what you can get. But neither one is, like you said, it's a deep league and injuries got you. It's going to be ugly for you, brother. Brandon says full PPR, Danny Dimes or Kyler, Fields or Jaden Daniels. Who do we have here? The Kyler one is the one that's stumping me here. I do have him just 2 spots ahead of Daniel Jones, so we'll go with Kyler Murray. And then as far as Fields and Jaden Daniels, I have Justin Fields over Jaden Daniels this week. So give me Kyler and Fields in this one. Flex one, full PPR, Malik Washington, Josh Downs, DeMercado, Bill, and Njoku, and Kendre. In a full PPR, if I got to flex one of these guys, it's probably Josh Downs or Njoku, but I think I'm going to go with Josh Downs. Do you trade McBride and Chase Brown for Kelsey, Garrett, and Woody Marks? I don't think so. We already got these. Anthony says a hopeful boom game with Woody or the BTJ prayer in full PPR. Probably going with Woody, honestly, and just rocking with that. It's tough to trust BTJ. Lewis with the super chat gets to skip the line. Appreciate you, Lewis. He says, hey, dude, I'm having a nightmare at tight end this week. Would you go with Theo Johnson or taking a stupid punt on Taysom Hill? Thanks, man. I respect the Taysom Hill pulls that people want to rip right away. I'm not there. I would still play Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson is a player that he's not super high in my rankings, but I did bring him up in our stash episode as a potential player to, look at the matchup this week and see what happens with Jackson Dart. So I think I would play Theo Johnson, but I respect the Taysom Hill pull. We just did that one. My bad. Connor says, should I send my 28 fourth? I don't have many thirds and fourths left, but I have a bunch of firsts for Rico to start him over Sean Tucker. I'm down 5 starters today, 8-0, playing a tanking team. Just got to make sure I beat median. I don't feel like you have to. A 28 fourth for Dowdle isn't bad at all. If you want to, go for it. I don't think you have to. If you're 8-0 and you're playing a tanking team, you're probably all right here, Connor. Do you go Mason Taylor over Njoku? I do have Mason Taylor higher than Njoku in my rankings this week by about 2 spots. So I would play him over Njoku. Pollard over Michael Carter. I would not play Pollard over Michael Carter. I like Michael Carter more. Edward says, start in a PPR league, Troy Franklin or Jordan Addison, having a struggle because my player is on a bye. I would be going with Jordan Addison. I think he's just more involved in that offense. It's a little bit of a better offense. Tough matchup against the Cleveland Browns, but I think he's a fine play where you have him there against Troy Franklin. So I'd play Jordan Addison. Should I drop Njoku for Strange or Waller to be my starter? Full PPR. Of those guys, I like Strange more than I like Waller. We might be in drop territory for Njoku, but I don't think I'm dropping him yet. I kind of want to see how he looks this week with Gabriel. Maybe Gabriel leans on him and works a little bit more with Njoku than was happening before. But if he doesn't perform this week, he doesn't perform next week or whatever, like we are approaching drop territory. But Strange is the player in this group that I feel the most confident in right now. Landon says full PPR start too. You got Sutton, J-Mo, Trey Tucker. Normally I'd auto start Sutton, but worried about the matchup with Quinion being shut down. I'm still not overthinking it. I'm going with Sutton and J-Mo. Trey Tucker is going to hit my bench. Dak or Fields. I have Fields higher in my rankings this week. He comes in for me as my QB 4. Dak comes in as my QB 10. Half PPR. Am I crazy to consider starting Ferguson in the flex over Jameson Williams? I don't think you're crazy, especially with the amount of work that Ferguson has been getting on the PPR side. It's just a matter of if we think it's going to keep, being something that he does. I do have Jake Ferguson anytime touchdown bet today, if that makes you feel any different. Roland says, would you trade Neighbors for Garrett Wilson and 227 first, probably mid? Still Baker, Saquon, Achane, Hampton, Rome, DK. It's a good offer. Garrett Wilson and 2 mid 2027 firsts. It's hard to turn that down, especially because your team looks like you can compete this year. I would probably try and get him to pay a little bit more, just test his gangster and see how much he's willing to actually pay. But that offer it's legit. I think I'd consider it very strongly. Nick says, okay, man, hear me out. 2 quarterback, super flex, tight end premium. I'm starting Kincaid and Strange currently. Just snagged Tremble just for the matchup. What are you thinking full PPR? I have Kincaid and Strange higher than him in my rankings this week, so I would not play Tremble. I like the thought process, but I like the other guys more. Says, I low-key want to flex and Tremble for Strange based on matchup. I still like Strange better. Glenn says, need a start for flex. Trey Tucker or RJ Harvey. Thanks for all that you do. This is a tough one. I think Trey Tucker's probably the play. It's tough to trust Harvey at the moment. Street Veteran says start 3 with Chase, Sutton, Pittman, Waddle, and Harrison. I would go with... I kind of really want to bench Jamar Chase here. But I don't think I can do it. I'm gonna bench Sutton and Harrison, and I'm gonna play Chase, Pittman, and Waddle. Capo says, I'm 3-1 and I got absolutely crushed with injuries this last week. Michael Carter, Renfro, or Travis Hunter in an IDP league. So Hunter gets points for defense in the flex. Tight end options are Ingram, Fant, and Hill. Okay, I like Michael Carter the most of those players that you listed first. As far as the tight end options, Ingram, Fant, and Hill. I like Ingram the most, even though none of those plays feel like strong plays. I need one flex spot with Kenneth Walker, J.K. Dobbins, or Ladd McConkey in a full PPR. I'd probably go with Kenneth Walker. I really want it to be Ladd, but I think the other play is Kenneth Walker. Tony Pollard, Jordan Mason, J-Mo in the flex. You got to pick one. Give me Jameson Williams. Pittman might get more work. Pierce is out again. Yeah, he is out, and it's going to be interesting. They even said like Adonai Mitchell's limited this week, even though Pierce is out because he's being punished. So we'll see what happens with that. Pick 2 and sit 1 in my PPR league. Genty, Judkins, Worthy. We're going to sit Worthy, start the other 2. With Ladd being MIA and Hill getting hurt, I traded Javonte Williams for London. I don't mind that at all. I think that's a good trade. QBs are May, Dart. Running backs are Genty, Barkley, Marks, Henderson, Pacheco, Blue. Wide receivers now Dunze, London, Ladd. Yeah, it's a good trade for you. I like it. I was going to push for JSN over Wilson. Doubt he'd do 2 firsts for Neighbors with JSN. Would you do JSN and 127 first over Wilson and the 2 first? Maybe he'll try to get Sutton or something. I love the idea of going for JSN. If you could go JSN, and I would honestly, Roland, try to do JSN in the 2 first. If he doesn't do it, say like JSN a first and a second. If he doesn't do that one, I think I'm okay going the 1 first for JSN, because I don't think Neighbors and JSN should be that far off from each other in dynasty rankings moving forward. So I kind of like it. Yeah, I would try that. I would try it. Like I said, try the 2 first. If he doesn't do it, try and negotiate him to a 1 and a 2. If he doesn't do that one, try and just do 1. And that's probably where I'd be at. Full PPR, start 2 wide receivers and 2 flex. You got Debo, Pittman Jr., Brees Hall, Harrison Jr., Olave, AJ Brown. Please remember he's got Surtain up his ass this week, because yesterday you said AJ Brown, and I didn't. What did you say? And I didn't like your answer, so I'm asking again today. Chase Brown on the list as well. I remember he has Pat Surtain, but you know, I think there's a little bit of squeaky wheel syndrome right here with AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. You got the report the other day from Diana Rossini that these guys are very unhappy with their roles on the team, as they should be, because this has been fucking ridiculous by the Eagles. But and I don't care if you're winning. That's just annoying as fuck if you're a football player. I'm sorry. Excuse my language this morning. Okay, let me go back to this question though. Pittman is one of the guys that I'm playing. Brees Hall is one of the guys that I'm playing. AJ Brown is one of the guys that I am playing. And between Debo, Olave, and Marvin Harrison, I'll play Debo. Those are the ones that it's close between. Yeah. I guess give me Debo, Pittman, Brees, and AJ Brown. I'm sorry you don't like my answer, but it is what it is, man. Spaceafel says skull. Appreciate you, man. We got a skull over here too. Yesterday, my wife and I, we went out and kind of had a late night and stuff like that. We found, this is just a random skull. I'm keeping this up while I talk about it because I don't get to show nobody, because you guys are my friends and you're the internet, so you get to deal with this shit right now. We found Tom Brady's card vault. It's like a card store. Speaking of skull, look what I got. Found a JJ McCarthy rookie card. There you go. Also, another JJ McCarthy rookie card. I don't know if you guys collect trading cards. I do. I think it's super fun. I've always done it my whole life, but found some JJ McCarthy still. So yes, it's a very skullish type of morning. Frizzle says, hey, how's it going, brother? Going good for me, man. Appreciate you being here. Nick says, I am a Commanders fan, Redskins fan, whatever. With our secondary being buns this year, Ladd might get his big game this year. Hopefully, or this week, I'm assuming is what he's meaning, but hopefully that does happen, because I definitely need a big game from Ladd. Rico or Dobbins? Pokey University. Speaking of cards, collect Pokemon too. Rico. Stash Ollie Gordon, Isaiah Davis, Jaden Blue, or Luther Burden. I would order them Ollie, Burden, Blue, Davis. Sutton, Ladd, Waddle, Myers, Addison. I need a wide receiver 2 and a flex and a full PPR. Give me Waddle for certain, and then it's between Ladd and Sutton. I have Cortland Sutton higher. So give me Waddle and Sutton. Woody Marks or Mason in a full PPR. Give me, where do I have those? I know I have Woody Marks fairly high. I don't like the matchup for Jordan Mason. I have Marks higher by like 2 spots. Dart, Tua, or Daniel Jones for a QB2. I probably am still going to go with Daniel Jones. Jackson Dart's a pretty interesting play, but Daniel Jones is a top 10 quarterback for me in my rankings this week. Judy Higgins or Trey Tucker in PPR. Also Waller or Johnson if he plays. I would probably play Waller over Johnson. With Judy Higgins and Tucker, I think I'm going with T. Higgins, but that's not a super exciting option and probably not the answer you want to hear. I have Bowers trying to figure out who to pick up. The options are Taysom Hill, Evan Engram, likely Otten. Who would you go for? I think I would go with Otten over all of those players. Yeah, but we're digging in the dumpster here, Dara. Probably Otten. Pick one with Malik Washington, Slayton, Wandell Robinson, and Hollywood. Give me Wandell. Cam says, I'm just razzing you, dog. Sincerely appreciate you, bro. However, I'm not playing him, but I respect your answer. Hey, it's your team, bro. It's your team. I can tell you AJ Brown, but you can say, sit your ass down on the bench, bro. I ain't playing you today. And that's fine. I appreciate that either way. And I get that you're just razzing. I'm not tripping off of that. Patty says hard. That's to the JJ McCarthy card. Cardinals defense or Browns defense today. Also, Packers defense is on waivers. Do I pick them up and sit and forget them? I would definitely pick up the Packers defense, and I like the Cardinals defense more than I like the Browns defense. They're back-to-back in my rankings, but Cardinals are a top 3 play for me. We got a super chat from Kevin, so Kevin gets to skip the line. Says, Dynasty contender trade sent to my inbox. Give my Rice, get Lad. I'm in second place. Interesting trade offer. I'm going with Rashee Rice side. I would rather keep your Rashee Rice side of the deal. So, yeah, crazy we're at this point because I love Lad, but I would rather keep Rice. Rico or Jordan Mason. Give me Rico. Little nasty here, but Slayton or Trey Tucker. It is a little nasty, but give me Slayton. Bowers out. Opponent has field. Should I stream Mason Taylor or Waller at tight end? I like Mason Taylor. White or Monty in PPR. Give me... I think I have Monty higher. I do have Monty higher. I'm playing Monty. Start 3 in a full PPR. What the hell? We always get those little bots in the chat. Sorry when you guys get those. I always ban them, but get those little bots. People want you to stream on those illegal softwares that are gonna get you a virus or something. Nick says start full PPR. Addison, Ladd, Marvin, Coleman, Judy. It's Marvin, it's Ladd, and it's Addison for me of those 3. Waddle or JMO. Waddle easily. Pick 2 running backs and flex. Scattaboo, Kamara, Godwin, Rico, RJ Harvey. The 2 running backs are Scattaboo and Kamara. The flex is Rico. Mason or Chase Brown in a full PPR. Give me Jordan Mason. What are your thoughts on starting Taysom Hill if you are streaming tight ends? It's worth a pickup if you like him. I'm not playing him right away this week. He's a very sketchy stream this week. Cam says Kraft over Ertz rest of season if Daniels is healthy, right? Ertz has 9 touchdowns in the past 12 games with a healthy JD4. I still think it's Kraft over Ertz, yes. Mason, Manor, likely for the flex, full PPR, half point tight end premium. Give me Jordan Mason. Nick says breaking news: Rachaad White to get the vast majority of carries this week per sleeper. Tell me something I don't know. Zay or Chase Brown? Zay. Frank says, what's up, Andrew? Pick 2 to start in my running back position, Judkins, Genty, or Scattaboo to half PPR. And do I start AJ Brown or bench him to add one of those running backs into the flex? Yeah, I'm going to play all 3 of the running backs, Judkins, Genty, and Scattaboo, and probably bench AJ. A-Rod says, yo, start Kincaid or Fannin. I'm starting Kincaid there. Marvin Mason, give me Marvin. Juwan Johnson or Hunter Henry, give me Hunter Henry. Knicks is in a bad matchup or Darnold. 4-point passing, and Kyron gave me a 28-point lead. Love to see the Kyron explosion. I would still go with Bo Nix, I think. I did a trade in my redraft last night. I traded D-Hen. I almost said Darrell Henderson. D-Hen. Who's D-Hen? Am I spacing? Am I being crazy right now? I'm spacing this. D-Hen and Mason for London. Addison and Swift. Team is heavy on running backs. I need a wide receiver with CD out. Did I cook? Hey, Rod, either I'm playing dumb this morning or I don't know. I don't know if you cook because my brain is stuck on D-Hen and I can't comprehend that this early in the morning right now. So please give me clarity, A-Rod. Josiah says, good morning. I have the nastiest one of all time. Jaden Blue or Taj Brooks. Goddamn. I lost Bucky, Chuba, Benson, and Connor in a deep league, so I picked up Michael Carter, but I need one more running back. Oh, my God. Jaden Blue, but there's a chance both of these guys give you zeros, but I think it's Jaden Blue. Mason or A.J. Brown for the flex. Give me A.J. Brown. Also, I have Bowers out. Oh, I'll get to you, Run. He says, also I have Bowers out. Who do you like more between Juwan Johnson, Mason Taylor, and Strange? The highest one in my rankings this week is Strange. Strange is my tight end 9. Mason Taylor is my tight end 16. And Juwan Johnson is my tight end 12. All right, he says D-Hen is Derrick Henry. I mean, that's very obvious, Andrew. You could have figured that out. So I traded Derrick Henry and Mason for London, Addison, and Swift. Yeah, I like that trade for you. You cooked. So that was easier. There it was. Sorry, dude. What do we got? Frank says D-Hen might be Derrick Henry. Yeah, everybody can piece it together, and I can't. It's just the way, like I said, this morning is going. Shama is the reason why this is happening this morning with the lack of cognitive ability. Nick, I think this is where we're at. He says, I made a trade yesterday for Dynasty because I need QB depth bad. I currently have Josh Allen and Williams. I had Joe Flacco, but obviously he got benched. I tossed in an extra second round pick for Daniel Jones and a fourth. I like that. Daniel Jones for the second and the fourth. It seems fair. It seems on brand. I think it's a fine deal. Frank says, is Josh Palmer droppable? Should I pick up Burden, Monungai, Sean Tucker, or Trevor Etienne? And should I start Dart or T-Law? I like Dart over T-Law this week as a play. And yes, Josh Palmer is droppable. I like Burden or Sean Tucker as the pickups, but I think I like Burden more than Sean Tucker. Jeremy says, good morning, Andrew. Do I start QJ or Cam Scattaboo? I think we have to play QJ, man. I would still play QJ. Both of these are good options to play. I think both of these are top 15 of their position for me in my rankings, but I would go with QJ over Scattaboo. 4-point passing touchdown from Josiah. He says Wentz or Gabriel. I'm going to go with Carson Wentz. I do have Carson Wentz currently as my QB 25. Dylan Gabriel's my QB 29. Tough matchup for both, but probably still playing Wentz. Heartburn says, get Kenneth Walker and Jameson Williams. I give Chase Brown and Terry McLaurin. Yup, do it. We got to start one, flex one, tight end one. Start one flex, one tight end, and one defense. There we go. In a must-win full PPR. Sutton, Chase Brown, Harvey, Tremble, Mason, Taylor, Fannin, Vikings, Texans, Giants. All right. So we're starting the one flex. For me, it's Sutton over Brown and Harvey. I'm starting Mason Taylor over those other tight ends, and I'm starting the Vikings defense over the other defenses. So Vikings, Mason Taylor, and Cortland Sutton. All right, we are all caught up. We're about 30-minute mark here. We've got about 15-ish more minutes that we're going to go this morning. I am going to remind you guys, if you do want to support the show, if you want to support the channel, one of the best ways to do that, probably the single best way to do that, is going to be by signing up over on Underdog. If you've never played over there, there is a promo right now that they are running for new customers. If you've been around for a while, you know we've been talking about if you play $5, you'll get $50 in bonus cash. Well, they upped the ante. They gave you $100 in bonus funds now to sign up if you do so using promo code LeagueFFB. Very simple, very easy. Like I said, you just put the promo code in when you create your account. You deposit $5 into the app. You play with that. They will give you $100 right into your balance immediately. So very easy way for you to get a couple, extra $100 to play with, have some stuff to root for on the weekends when you're playing some fantasy, rooting for some fantasy teams. Maybe your fantasy team isn't doing too well right now. You want some other things to root for. Definitely something to do. You can pick like who's going to score a touchdown that week, a whole bunch of other things. How many catches do you think Garrett Wilson's going to get? All that good stuff. You can do that over on Underdog. And if you've never done it, this is a cool promo in itself. Just getting the $100 for the $5 that you deposit by using promo code LeagueFFB. But also, it is Boost-tober over there right now. So there is a new promo every single day in the app in the month of October. So perfect time to do it. If you've never done it before, would greatly appreciate you doing that for me. And we'll be all good. So look, if you don't want to do it that way either, I'm laughing at Cam right now in the chat. But if you don't want to do it right now, the best way to support this channel always for free is to hit that like button. So make sure you go hit that like button for me if you haven't already. Cam says, hold it together. You're trying to plug your sponsor right now, my guy. All right, I'm trying, man. Where are we at? What was I doing? I'm just screaming tired through the screen right now, maybe. Jeff says, Ferguson or Warren for tight end. I like Warren, but Ferguson being benched has burned me the last 2 games. I probably would be playing, I think I play Ferguson. Yeah, I'm going to play Ferguson. But man, I try and find a way to get both of these in there. Half point PPR, Judy, Ridley, Thornton, pick one, and Troy Franklin, Malik Washington on waivers. I'm playing Judy, but I would drop Thornton for Malik Washington on waivers right now. Single best way would be to transfer Andrew like 20 to 30K is what he meant to say. It would be cool if that's how you want to support the channel. I mean, we could set up a wire transfer or something if you want to. So you let me know, Cam. If this is what you want to do, we can get it together and get something set up. Kel says Drake May or Sam Darnold. Give me Drake May. Jelly says I need upside. Wide receiver, big underdog. Tolbert, Io Manor, and Malik Washington. I think the upside play is Malik Washington in a full PPR. We answered this one. I'm going Ferguson. I try and get both in the lineup. Should I start Myers or over Sutton? I would be playing Sutton over Myers still. Half PPR, Jameson or Woody Marks. Give me Woody. Rico or Travion Henderson. Give me Rico. No problem. Hip hop friends. Jeff says thank you. And Mo Diesel says start one half PPR, Waddle or Worthy, Strange or Kelsey, and Zay or Pittman. In the half PPR, I'm going with Jalen Waddle over Worthy, Pittman over Zay. The tight end is more interesting, but I'm going Kelsey over Strange. So Waddle, Kelsey, Pittman. Logan says, my tight ends are Hunter Henry and Juwan Johnson. Is Henry the right choice, or should I drop one for someone new? Full PPR 8-team leagues, so many names available. I'd love to know the names that are available, but Hunter Henry is the play. I'm not opposed to dropping one of these guys depending on the names available, but Hunter Henry would be the play over Juwan Johnson for me. How about Patriots defense over Packers? Their schedule looks juicy. I kind of like to look at the defenses in stretches. When I'm looking at the Patriots schedule, they do have a pretty decent one with New Orleans and Tennessee after this week. So yeah, you could look at it in like a 3-week stretch and say, the next 3 weeks after this one should be fine. So I don't mind it. I still think that Packers defense is better though. PPR, Hollywood or Tolbert? Give me Hollywood. Should I MT Mason Taylor or Njoku? I would play Mason Taylor. Brian Thomas, Jordan Mason, Trevion Henderson, Darius Slayton. Pick one for the flex. Jordan Mason. Trevion Henderson or Woody Marks? Give me Woody Marks. Roland says, I just sealed the deal before kickoff. Gave away Neighbors and Pearsall for JSN, Troy Franklin, and 2 27 firsts. Possible trade show talk. Submit it. Get it in the Discord, and let's see if it makes it next week. But I love that trade for you either way, Roland. So even if it doesn't make the trade show, it's a good deal. I like it. But get it submitted. Cam says, I got offered Kamara for Debo. I have Gibbs, D-Hen. Why are we calling him D-Hen? Brees, Chase Brown. Wide receivers are Debo, A.J. Brown, Pittman Jr., Harrison Jr., Pearsall, Olave. I told him to get stuffed like a turkey. Yeah, I would rather have Debo. Ertz, Goddard, Strange, Waller, Andrews, and Njoku, Fanning are all the tight ends available. Strange is interesting. Ertz is interesting. I'm not opposed to dropping Juwan Johnson for Ertz or Strange. But based off of those guys, the highest in my rankings to play this week is still Hunter Henry. So I'm playing Hunter Henry. Slayton, DeMercado, or Carter for the flex. Give me Michael Carter. Why did so many people in Yahoo drop Juwan? Is it because Taysom Hill? Yeah, there's a couple different variables. They activated Taysom Hill. Foster Moreau is another tight end on that roster that has gotten activated, and he's supposed to take a couple of these targets. Not a ton, but it's going to be a little bit more murky. And Juwan Johnson is dealing with an injury right now where he has like an ankle injury that has him questionable for this week. So I think all of that mixed up where it's like 2 more tight ends thrown into the lineup where it was just you before and you're injured now, you're starting to become expendable, especially if you don't, start getting the same target volume that you were having before. No problem, Logan. A-Rod says, in Dynasty, I made a couple trades I would love your thoughts on that you didn't pick for the trade show because you hate me. Well, A-Rod, that ain't the truth, but let me hear him. I think yours were I think I saw 1 or 2 of yours that were like finalist trades, but they ended up getting deleted. And I think I deleted one of them because you won it pretty clearly. And I was like, the discussion to be had here is, yeah, I just want A-Rod's side. So if you win the trade by like a large margin, I don't know if it's worth the discussion, maybe. But let me know. Put them in the chat so we can talk about them. We've got about 5 minutes here, folks, that we're going to keep going. So final call on questions. Throw those last minute start sit questions in before the London game over there across the pond. And if you have any other questions in the meantime that you think of between now and then, you can always go join the free Discord. There's a free Discord linked in the description. Lots of people in there willing to give advice on their opinions, not just me, but a bunch of other people as well. So definitely a good place to be. And it's free to join, so there's no risk in doing that. A-Rod says, trade number 1 in the Superflex League in a rebuild. We spoke on this. Bowers being my biggest trade piece that nobody respected his price in a non-tight end premium. I did Bowers and T-Law for Caleb and Devin Neal. Yeah, I remember this one. I think this one was one where it feels like you're selling a little bit low on Bowers because you're throwing in T-Law as well, but I don't like T-Law. I don't think T-Law is legit. But I think you're selling low on Bowers and probably losing the deal value-wise by throwing in T-Law. And so I think for this one, I would take the Bowers and the T-Law side here, A-Rod. Hey, Andrew, do you like White or Woody? I currently have Woody as my running back 21, and Rachaad White is my running back 16. So I like Rachaad White. ETN or JMO in a PPR? Give me ETN. Sean Tucker or Nick Chubb? Oh man, this is tough. I think Sean Tucker. Kenneth Walker or Dobbins in the flex? I have Kenneth Walker higher. White, Dowdle, Godwins, or Diggs in the flex in a full PPR. I think I'm going with White. Where did Dowdle officially end up? Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm going with White here. Logan, when I see your profile picture and your name, I feel like I want to trust you with my investments. Respects. About to make a lot of money investing with Logan Schmidt. A-Rod says, trade number 2. I lost Neighbors and I'm a heavy contender. I traded 2 firsts for Rice and a 3rd. Gonna be able to start JJ, Neighbors, London, and Rice next year. Yeah, I think that one's definitely one that I like. I like the Rice side, and I like getting that with the loss of Neighbors. Especially if those picks end up being like mid to late in 2026 or something like that. 2026 draft class, it's not bad, but it's shallow. And we don't have like a bona fide superstar in that class or like a can't miss blue chip type of prospect. Maybe Jeremiah Love, probably Jeremiah Love is the blue chip, but outside of him, like, I don't know. It's an interesting class. Higgins, Smitty, Godwin, or Judy. Give me Smitty. A-Rod says, yeah, I hated myself for doing it, to be honest, but my main thought was now I don't have to spend a first on a quarterback this year, and I have 4 firsts, so I can just add around the team, but I for sure hate myself for it. I hear you, dude. I hear you. Sometimes you have to make trades like that, I guess, just to get the ball rolling. How do you feel about Jalen Coker? Is he a good stash? I think he's an interesting stash. It'll be interesting to see how he does when he gets back, but I like him. I think he's a talented player, and I think he's an interesting stash if you have the bench space. Most people don't have flexibility for bench space right now. Josiah says, follow up. Trevor Etienne is available. Sean Tucker or Etienne. And Josiah, this is a dynasty, right? Right? If it's a dynasty, I like Etienne more long-term. If it's a redraft, I would rather pick up Sean Tucker. Hopefully that answers it either way. But that's it, folks. That's all we have for you today. We are getting very close to the game time. Still got a couple things that I need to do before I sit down and probably watch my Vikings lose. I think they're going to lose today. I won't lie to you. Something tells me that this defense is going to beat the hell out of our offensive line, but we'll see. It says just for this week, give me Sean Tucker. I have to start Njoku because of Bowers is out. Gross. It's a little gross. I have to start him too this week, though. Flowers, BTJ, or Diggs as wide receiver 2. Give me Flowers. 2 QB league, pick 2, Nix, Dart, or Darnold. Give me Nix and Dart. And the last question, Kevin says start Addison or Michael Carter in a 1 point per reception. I think I will go with Addison. I think I'm going to go with Addison. But that's it, guys. Like I said, we're getting ready for this game. I'm going to go watch my Vikings and hopefully not have them ruin my whole weekend before the games even start at the 1 p.m. slate. But hey, that's the life, you know, when you get the international game that early in the morning, this is what you do. But appreciate everybody for being here. As always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment on the YouTube videos, join the Discord, do all the good stuff to help support this channel. It truly means a lot. I appreciate you guys just being here and wanting to hang out and talk. That always means a lot to me as well. So really enjoy it. And with that being said, nothing else for you guys today. So I'll see you on the next episode. Till then, peace out.